Hey guys, long time no see. My last review was in November of 2021, so about 2 months it has been since I posted a video here. That's because I got married. Ah, yay! I just wanted to make a video because it's 2022, it's January, and we had a lot of movies that came out in 2021. Some amazing, some not so amazing, but the first video that I wanted to start out the new year right is my top 10. But before I get into my top 10 favorite movies of 2021, I have a couple of honorable mentions. And they are Tick, Tick, Boom. This is an amazing film directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda, starring Andrew Garfield. It is one of the best musicals of the year of 2021. It sadly wasn't in my top 10, but it is such an amazing film and I have to give a shout out. Please check it out. My next honorable mention is No Time to Die, starring Daniel Craig as the famous James Bond. And this was an amazing finale. It gave me everything that I wanted. Not so much an amazing villain, but it was almost a perfect film despite some of the issues that it had. But I still had to mention it because I love Daniel Craig and it did such an amazing job closing off this chapter of this Bond's tale. Another mention is Suicide Squad. Sorry, The Suicide Squad. Not that one. This one. It was amazing. James Gunn not only did a great job with Guardians of the Galaxy about a group of scumbags, he did it again, but with DC. And you really need to check it out. I really loved it. It's awesome. And my last honorable mention is the film called Coda. Please check it out. It's about this girl who has a dream to be a singer, and she is in a family where everybody is deaf except for her, and she has to essentially live with this dream, and her family doesn't really understand her dream because they can't hear. It's a beautiful tale. Please watch it if you have the time. And that's it for my honorable mentions. So, into the top 10, shall we? Starting off with number 10, In the Heights. I just love this film, guys. I love a good musical, as you can tell with my honorable mentions, Tick, Tick, Boom. Yet again, kind of with Lin-Manuel Miranda, he was actually in the play in the very beginning stages of this, and now it's an amazing film with some actors that you recognize from Hamilton, and I have to say, there's a reason why that girl is going to be the next Batwoman, because she is so stinking good in this film. Everybody does a great job. I love the music. It made me want to go dancing, and I don't dance. So, In the Heights, great movie. Number 9. This is going to shock a lot of people that know me. I'm not a huge anime lover. I maybe have watched 3 anime shows, and I've watched maybe 2 anime films, maybe 3. And the one movie that utterly just caught me off guard, and I actually had to watch the anime first, then watch the movie because I'm that kind of guy, Demon Slayer. Mugen Train something. I completely forgot the main title for it. I just know that it's Demon Slayer the movie. I loved it. Oh my goodness. The stories, the characters. You need to watch the show in order to really understand the film, but especially the new characters that they show up, that they provide in this new movie, it just was so engaging from beginning to end, nonstop. I loved it. It is such a thrilling ride to see these characters and these situations that they're put in, and especially with the last 30 minutes, you get this gripping action. Well, there's a lot of action in this, but especially in the last 30 minutes, you don't just get action, you get emotions, a shocking ending that really punches you right in the heart, and I have to say, it's truly one of the best films of 2021, and that is my number 9. Now, to number 8, The Green Knight. And I know there's some people out there that know me, that have talked to me, and say, dude, this movie was so boring. I don't get it. Guess what? I loved it. It's super different. It's super artistic. Dave Patel is amazing. Joel Edgerton, Alicia Vikander, everybody. It is such an epic tale of this man who is selfish, full of pride, thinks he can do it on his own, but bam, destiny tries to show him, hey, this is what you need to do. He wants to do his own thing. Nope, that's not how it works. It is a tale of a man who wants to go his own way, a man who has regret and has to make a decision. And I love tales like that where you take a character that thinks they know more, but in reality, they don't know anything. And that's why Green Knight is in my top 10. My number 7 is The Last Duel, starring Jodie Comer, who deserves the Best Actress for the Oscars, and Matt Damon, Adam Driver, Ben Affleck. Such an incredible cast. Ridley Scott, I know the millennials, they suck with their phones, TikTok, but I love your movie. Don't hate them. I love you, Ridley Scott. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna get through this. House of Gucci, not as good as The Last Duel, but I loved The Last Duel. It's an epic tale about the powers of men back in the day. A true story, supposedly, a true story. And it's incredible with what Ridley Scott is able to do in this film. And sadly paints a tale that isn't too far off with what would happen today. And I love that Ridley Scott went there with this film. Terrific movie, please check it out. Ooh, at number 6, I love this film, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. This movie has some of the best acting that I've seen from a villain in a Marvel film. I don't know why, but Tony Leung, I believe I'm getting that right, just plays an amazing complex villain as Wenwu, the Mandarin, the real Mandarin. And obviously, Shang-Chi, the actor who plays him, is spectacular. Simu Liu, loved him. Awkwafina surprised me. I was really not looking forward to her in this film, but she is so darn good in this movie. The action, it's some of the best Marvel action that we have seen in a Marvel film to date. And I have to say, please check it out. Incredible story, incredible action, incredible atmospheric film that I've been needing for a Marvel film. Please watch it. At number 5, we're in the top 5. Let's go. Zack Schneider's Justice League. I was really wrestling with this being in my top 10. And then I realized, it's going to be my top 10. It's Zack Schneider's Justice League, the movie that we should have gotten in 2017. Y'all already know what this movie's about. Y'all already know it's the movie that we needed. Us DC fans deserved. And I'm just so happy Zack Schneider had the chance to put it out there. It was everything. It was a 4-hour epic that I stood up at 4 a.m., till 4 a.m. to watch it, and it was incredible. Every second was worth it, and I loved the vision that he had for this journey. I love you, Zack Schneider. Zack Schneiderverse, if it doesn't happen, I had a good run with it since 2013. I love you, man. Number 4, King Richard starring Will Smith. This movie took me by surprise. I sadly saw it on HBO Max. I know. I just didn't have time to go out to the theaters. I'm sorry. I just didn't. But my goodness, I wish I did because I love this movie. Almost every 5 to 10 minutes, I was in tears. I'm just that guy. I cry about everything. I cried during Extreme Makeover Home Edition. I'm that dude. I take over after my own father. He cried during that too. But anyway, sorry. King Richard, incredible tale about the Williams, and just this movie is all about character, about your pride, about what do you want to do in life, and how far are you willing to go, not only for yourself, but for your future family, your legacy. But King Richard, please check it out. Amazing movie. Top 3 now. No Way Home. Spider-Man No Way Home. Spoiler alert. Spoilers. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. That's all I need to say. Just kidding. Alfred Molina, William Dafoe, Jamie Foxx. Everybody does such a good job. It is everything that I've wanted in a film, where you have these 3 characters, these 3 Spider-Men uniting, and you don't just get them for the final 20 minutes. You get them for the entire 3rd act. And obviously, that's already an amazing positive, but not just that, but the whole movie is such a great ride. It is one of the most unique experiences that I've had in a movie theater. It's next to Force Awakens, Endgame, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. It's that type of feeling that you get where you're just literally looking at your friends, your family, and just being like, wow, we're in this. We're in this moment. This is really happening. And I thank you so much, Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures, for giving us that. Thank you. At number 2, I really thought this was going to be my number 1. West Side Story, directed by Steven Spielberg. If I could say that I was excited for this film, it is an understatement. I was absolutely, incredibly, intensely excited for this movie. My wife and I both were. And seeing it, and we watched an early screening, I looked at her and was like, this might be my favorite movie of the year. Steven Spielberg is not only a great filmmaker, he's quite possibly the best filmmaker of all time. And I think we've all known that if you are a cinephile lover. Because he not only does horror, he not only does dramas, action movies, adventure movies, romance movies, he does musicals. He does it all. He does everything. And he proves it yet again that he is the man with this film. I know people are giving my boy, Ansel Elgort, a little bit of hate. Every review's like, this movie's really incredible. I loved it, but there's one thing. Oh, what's that? Ansel Elgort, his voice is just too low, and his performance isn't as convincing as like Rachel Zegler's. Like, come on, shut up. Leave my boy alone. That movie is amazing. 10 out of 10. Loved every minute about it. And also, I have to say this. I'm so grateful that Steven Spielberg went out of his way to cast the movie the right way, with actual people that represent the cultures. The Puerto Ricans, actually casting people that look like them, actually represent their race, and not just give them a tan and just spray paint their face to make it look like they're Puerto Ricans when they're not. So I am very happy that Steven Spielberg went out of his way to make sure to right that wrong that was so very wrong in the 60s. And that's honestly why I never really got into the original when I remember watching it, and it just pulled me out. But with this, that's why it's the best one, because it's actually paying respects to the people that the 60s was trying to pay respects, but it actually came out as disrespectful. That's just me, and I thank you, Steven Spielberg, for doing this. And my number one, Dune. Directed by Denis Villeneuve, starring Timothée Chalamet, Jason Momoa, Rebecca Ferguson, Oscar Isaac, Javier Bardem. The list goes on. This movie was fantastic. It was game-changing. It was big, fat, world-building, Lord of the Rings scales, and it was everything that I wanted it to be. I remember watching the original Dune later on, or earlier this year in 2021, and being like, this has so much potential, but there were so many flaws with it. And just seeing this film, you can see yet again, it was a person that really wanted to capture the world of Dune. With the old one, and especially with this one. And I'm just so glad, even though HBO Max released it, it still made enough money. There was still enough people to be like, I want Dune Part 2. And even Warner Brothers Studios recognized that week one. And that's incredible. It's not like your average everyday movie blockbuster. It's not an Avengers film. It appears as this big blockbuster, especially in the marketing, but it's really a thought-provoking science fiction 2001 Space Odyssey type of film. And that makes me so happy that people want to see that. So Dune is my number one. And okay, Hans Zimmer score. With me! It better win the Oscars and cinematography and best director, personally. But anyways, that is my number one, and that was my top 10 best films of 2021. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also don't forget to be blessed.